Okay, we're gonna attach this stuff on here real quick. So I'm gonna use the rapid fuse, and I'm just going to I'm gonna show you this with the baking soda instead of the stinky zip kicker, which the zip kicker is not too bad, but people don't like the smell and it gets all over. Not so yeah. So put that in there, pull it down nice and tight. Goes. I wish I curved it with the sphere a little better. There's the baking soda, little powder, and we'll see how this does. And if it catalyzes, oh man, I don't think that's working very well at all. Maybe this is talc powder. Did I get talc powder instead of, wait a minute. Yeah, instead of the baking soda, I think I did. I think I just put talc powder on there instead of, there it goes. Okay, that's working. Label stuff, people. Bad. Mess I'm making. All good. There you go. Yeah, I can feel it catalyze. It'll heat up, right? So yeah, that's if you want to do it fast, use the baking soda along with the crazy glue, and that's if you don't have a bottle of zip kicker laying around at home. So that's just to get it on there quickly, just to hold it in place. I'm going to go back over that with some JB Quick, JB Weld. I might even fuse some other stuff on there for the hands. Try to make sure that, and the feet. Oh, I picked out some dragon eyes, some glass eyes for them as well. Set those over to the side. And see how this next step goes with the hand. So I'm just gonna take it through the loop here. Probably over the top would be better. You want the spatula is usually underneath the hand a little bit. I'm just gonna go like that. And could weave this around a few times. And as I do that, you want to grab the floral wire and pull. You have your needle nose handy. This helps. There we go. And then get the other side too. I always wondered where the platypus stinger was. I knew they were poisonous. I was like, what, platypus, those cute little things? Poisonous? What a trip. Now I know. There's a little barb inside their thumb. So every time I do a new puppet, new design, I learn something new about the world. It makes it, it's that reference collecting. It's that little, I stopped on my phone just real quick and looked at a platypus bill, tail, and then the barb thing um, came up, and it reminded me to the curiosity I had always had that I, for whatever reason, never bothered to stop and look it up. There we go. It should work out okay. So he's palms down, right? So if he's palm forward, you'd have to bend the elbow out, right? So palms downward, arms, this can kind of come in a little bit at the elbow. So we'll do the other side now. Excuse me. And make sure the thumb's on the right side. Don't do that mistake. Go. Looks like the wire's a bit longer. And this floor wire is surprisingly, uh, or not surprisingly, it's very strong. It is, it holds stuff in place. So yeah, it's paddle wire, I think is the other word for it, but it's got a little coating on it so that it's a little easier to work with. That's with that green. I don't, and none of you're going to see any of this, right? This is all just, if you're going to see part of it, use the magic sculpt that use the bone color, the white one. You guys have the tan colored at school for this semester, at least at the time of this recording. We got tan magic sculpt, which I'd never even seen before, and that was what was available, so that's what we got, which totally cool with me. But the white, the bone white is makes really awesome bones. There we go. And oh yeah, see, I put it on the top on this one. I put it underneath on this one. That was a bit of a boneheaded move. So I got to make sure this is above. You don't want to get in a situation where it's behaving differently. Bang, wasn't paying attention closely enough. Okay, and there we go on the wrist. And at the very end, kind of try to get that curl in, make sure it's not going to get anyone. Put it up on top. And I don't know, I almost feel like that was the thumb and that was the pinky. Kind of, I don't know, it's hard to tell. Well, what's great with these wires is you can definitely reshape them and get them just how you want them to be. So definitely not a issue with any at all with that. Okay, so that's good for now. I could put a little just to hold stuff in place. Put a little bit of the cyno, is the scientific word for it. Glue, glue, that in there. That'll hold it in place for us while we're working. And I should probably secure these as I go one at a time, but I'm just doing this all in one shot for you guys so that you have the videos. And then as I the powder out, go. Much nicer than the Sino. And if you have baby powder, that works too. It just has that scent, the odor that you don't need. So I opt to use this instead. Just off camera, I'm just blowing the excess powder off. And yeah, that catalyzed real nice. And that brought the fingers up for me on that. And you can see the bend. I want to make sure I'm keeping everything nice and in pose, so to speak. Okay, let's mix up the steel stick and attach the tie downs. I said it wrong. I said it right finally. Instead of strong ties, tie downs, the feet, and the tail. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set these down. And I was gonna pre-mix these off camera, but it's worth showing again how I pinch, twist this stuff. Just un improperly mixed or unmixed steel stick is man, what a waste. This stuff's this one tube is $9. So it's a strong thing. You want it for the big bonds. It's still a good idea to use it for that chest and pelvis and now at the feet because that's where all the weight, pressure, animation is going to go. So mix and pinch, twist that shit up, get it going in there properly. Excuse me. All right, so take part of that and roll into, make sure I'm not getting too much powder or anything that's gonna mess with the adhesion. Maybe make a little ball of it and then just wrap it around that post. I noticed a lot of people, maybe they skipped part of the video, weren't paying close attention, but they really got steel stick underneath it. And man, that kind of emphasized to be careful to not do that. So you keep the steel stick out of the threads of the posts and off the bottom so that you have a nice, even, flat uh, step on the ground. So I'm going to bend this back so you guys can see on camera a little bit. There we go. So that one squishes down. That one squishes down. Make sure that it's down all the way. And once you get it down all the way, you can pinch some of that back over the thread a little bit. But before we do that, we want to use our foot pattern here. And these are really poorly bent, so I went a little fast on it, but I didn't really bother with the shape all that much, but I think we'll be all right. So I'm just gonna bring those down and around like that. Should be fine. And do the same thing with the other side here. And you can usually got a lot of leeway. If it's hanging out the back, I could trim those off afterwards. So I'll leave that hanging off the back. Oh, dang it, it's stuck to that. There we go. Close enough. Close enough. All right. So while I have it on there, take my steel stick like I can already feel. Now I feel the heat. Oh, almost too late. Ah, there goes the heat. Get it on, get it on. And just put a nice big glob of it over the front to start since it's already heating up. I should have done 1 foot at a time, right? Do 1 foot at a time. Don't do both like I did. That was dumb. Okay, so we'll do one, then the other. Make sure again that that tie down. Most important thing is it's around the loop of the to the ankle. This part here we're doing with the toe. You could always fix that, cut it off, do another one, whatever. But you don't want the ankle where all the weight pressure forms. You don't want that to be loose at all. So that hoop that came off the bottom of the leg around is really nice and flat against that tie down. So, ooh, that was close though. I almost messed it up by trying to do too much at once. So I'm gonna let that set for a minute, although it is already catalyzing, and then I'll be a little smarter this time, and I'm gonna do 1/2 at a time. So I'm going to cut what I need and finish this off. And it's catalyzing. Oh, we do the palms too. I'm going to just use a steel stick on the palm, so I might as well do that now with the piece I have left. So I think that came out just about right. So squish, 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 squish. Yeah, wow, that was fast. I always forget how fast that stuff sets. Like once it kicks, you feel the heat. It's like you feel the heat. Time to move on. Okay, so I'll take 2 little medallions here for the palm. We'll do one underneath the palm. It's sticking to my glove too, so maybe use some of my other fingers underneath there, and then one above that. There we go. And if I need to get it out over the top of the fingers, I'm going to squeeze a little extra and make sure that wherever that floral wire comes out separately, make sure it doesn't come loose in between the fingers. Because remember, this is all one loop. And I have my sculpting tool. If you have your sculpting tool handy, you can shape that how you want. If I want to put knuckles on there, whatever, should be fine. Okay, get my other part here. Check the feet for a second. See how that's, oh yeah, that's it. It's done. Done, done. All right, mix up this other part, do the other palm. You gotta remember to push the fingers up since I wove it down below, but it kind of ended up distributing pretty well. Pretty awesome. Making a whole puppet from scratch is gonna be nice and flexible, I'm assuming. And it was good. We talked about the boneyard, the scrapyard, graveyard of these twisted armature wires. So yeah, just make. Yeah, I got a bunch of these like little failed, like quick class demos. So it's fun. So maybe I don't want to wait until it actually starts catalyzing this time. Let's move. I'm sure I twisted and pinched it enough. That's the main thing. So I could take the two balls, make my two little, flatten them out, make my two little medallions. It's just starting to heat up, but I'm a little faster this time, so that's a good thing. Put one on the top. It's really sticking to my gloves now. So I should probably change my gloves, but I don't have time. Now, one underneath. Go. And you can always add a little more on here if you need to, right? That's the other thing, which I might do. Yeah, this one had the open wire too, the little armature wire on the bottom right there. So I'm gonna maybe pull that down. Looks like it didn't go quite as well. Put some more over the top of that after it hardens, but I want to play with that. I want to weaken it, so I'm gonna leave it for a moment, right? And I'm gonna let it stiffen up on my gloves too. Just let it set for a minute, and I'll be back. You'll see me like time never changed because I'm pausing. Okay, we're back. I've cut my little pieces. Remember, if you do them in little chunks at a time, you have a lot better success rate. And this is definitely too thin of a spatula. I think it was still hardening, and I started moving it, and I was like, "Oh, what am I doing? Crap, that was really dumb." Right here, you can see I didn't get over the wires enough, or down into the wrist. So, but that's okay. Everything's in place, so I can, I still got a JB Weld bat. I still got to attach the eyes. I put the foam on, and hopefully build the rest of this guy up during class. Would be nice. See how it goes. Go twist, twist, pinch, pinch. Left the same gloves on. It's stiffened. The steel stick stiffened up and leaves a little coating on the end. It's not too bad. But here we go. I want to make sure this is the top upper knuckle of this is reinforced a bit more. There we go. And gently squeeze it in there, in between the fingers as well, around it underneath. And stuff's pretty darn strong, right? So Never used steel stick before this class? Now you know what steel stick is. It's kind of cool stuff, right? There we go. I didn't even look at the bottom of the palm. I was just going, there we go. Okay, that worked out pretty good. So I'm going to leave that for a moment. I'm going to save these two to finish off the palms even more. So I want to make sure they're nice and strong. Let's get down here to the feet though. So I didn't even get underneath because reinforce that wire from underneath and back here and behind. Right, we just kind of ended it real quick. And then back here, we could leave these on. So I'm just going to bend these wires back around the heel a bit. Maybe crisscross them a little, so push one up higher, one lower, and then bring it around. Or you could just get the cutters and just trim them right off, right? So whatever. I'm opting to leave them on. Normally I think I would have cut them, but I'm just seeing if it's like the extra, what it does for it, if anything. Fill. A lot of this is fill. When you're animating, and if you fabricated your own puppet, you'll really kind of be knowledgeable. Okay, so one at a time. Just gonna do one foot then the other and make sure that everything is bent, toes are bent properly. Okay, it's good to go. And here we go. How are we doing? Yeah, sorry you guys gotta sit and watch me mix, but click with the stuff on my gloves and then pause and unpauses. But yeah, it just takes a minute, right? Not even. I'm going fast. Pinch, twist, roll. Okay, I want to get some more set time. This time around, definitely above and around the ankle. So let's get a little worm of it. Down and around. Stick in my glove, of course. There we go. That's better. Keeping it out of the threads, but in the twist of the aluminum wire. That's where we want it, not in the thread of the post. There it goes. And yeah, it's coming back around the heel, filling in the grooves nicely. And wherever you want that bend to be, you want to thicken that up as needed. Go underneath here and break some off again. Don't get it on the bottom there, but we can reinforce the back of the heel. Just don't let it go underneath. Oh, now my finger just cramped off camera. That was funny. Underneath here, on the toe. So this is the other one where you really didn't get any in there. And you can kind of use your fingernail and really get it in all the grooves and crevices. Fill the gap. That's kind of what the plumber's putty. If you have a leaky sink, you put this in there and it'll fill around the drain or whatever. It'll prevent the water from leaking out. So, and you can put this in, what do you call it? A wet environment. It'll stick. Yes, it's not stick. It's sticking to my glove too much. Dang it. Like a little water helps it to not stick to your hand as much as it was. Okay, good, good. Next up, do the other side. And we're done. You can see the difference. You can still see the wire underneath there when I just kind of put it on quickly. See the wires, like there's nothing stiff up around the ankle. This one's got some stiffness around the ankle, and I definitely connected it more around the post. All right, so I'll finish these off and we'll see you in the next video.